The High Little Guy Show.
Hello, and welcome to the High Little Guy Show. I'm the little guy, getting high. First of all, I'd like to wish all of you out there a happy Pride Month. Most people relate to it as people that are lgbtqia+, as their day to express. I kind of look at it like a human day where everybody should be reminded to be outspoken, to be themselves, to be proud of who they are and what they wear and how they show up in the world and all the rest that goes along with that. So happy Pride to you and everybody. If you haven't watched last week's episode, the last episode, episode 2, can I opt out? Maybe you should before. I don't know that you need to, but you should watch it anyway. It's a bit of a personal account of just how I was feeling in the moment, and I'd like to extrapolate, I think is the word. I'm not a very big SAT word guy. But I want to extrapolate on what I was talking about in episode 2, in episode 3. So, welcome. The first thing to know, as basic and stupid as this may sound, is that you're a human being. Now, that's a label. A human being is a label. You're not really a human being. You're just called that for the sense of understanding. As human beings, we have a desire to understand. And we do a lot of things, sometimes kill, sometimes laugh, sometimes, drive ourselves nuts to find and understand something that we feel we need to know. The knowing of which just allows you to bring comfort, I guess, to your mind, have a thought that you figured out whatever it is, you got the result, the conclusion, the completion that you needed. So be it. However, not going into labeling, because that's a whole other side of this, but coming from a human need to understand, I'm going to share what I think you already understand, but I'm going to use my words to illuminate it. We live life. We are born into the world as which you know it. That creates a contextual experience. How you were born, maybe the environment, everything contributes to what you were told as a child. Everything contributes to who you become. However, that's also what limits us. Let me explain. If I say to you, how are you feeling? You'll have an answer. If I say, what context are you thinking from? You might have to think about it. Because we don't normally think about the context in which we operate. Or the mindset in which we operate is another way to say it. I'm drinking coffee out of my mug. It's a ceramic mug, and it gives a certain experience of that it says number 1 Papa, and I made that mean that my dog loves me because my dog gave me this mug, even though he didn't. I made up a whole story that this is from my son, my dog, Disco, and it brings me joy to have my coffee in the morning, which I will take a sip of gladly. If it was in a styrofoam cup, I'd have a totally different experience of my coffee. Same coffee, different cup. The cup is the context in which the content, the coffee, is held. So the experience is not from the coffee, it's the same coffee. It's the cup or the container. If I was drinking out of a glass, I might have a total different set of worry than drinking from ceramic. Maybe I think the glass is hotter. My point is that the context in which we think gives us how things occur in the present moment. You might not even be listening to what I'm saying. You might be listening to what you're saying about what I'm saying, which has your experience of what I'm saying come from this listening, if you will, of what you're thinking about me. And that distracts from what I'm actually saying so you could hear it. I'm not asserting you're not listening. I'm just saying in human nature, we listen through our context. We listen through a filter of glasses, if you will. Everything looks a bit more orange because my glasses are orange. Is it? No. But with the glasses, it's orange. So my context is filtering what I hear, what I see, what I experience. And if my context is, I'm not allowed, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, I'm not fill in the blank. Because we learn as a child language and we learn to stay away from things and we learn to gravitate towards things. But that's from language, that's from the spoken word. Inherently, we're just exploring. We are human beings here to explore the world, each other, our relationships. Technically, we're only here to survive, which means we need to have more sex because we're trying to survive as a species. That's the nature of a species. Species? I don't know. Anyway, there's a large audience behind me, so forgive me if you could hear them. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Well, let me get back to the context because that'll give me where I'm going. See, if I listened from, where was I? I have to get back to it. I got frantic in that moment. And I could see myself going a little nuttier than I needed to be. And then I panicked. Do I stop the camera? You know, your thoughts are automatic. It's like so unconscious. You don't even know what's happening. And then I caught myself and I said, well, what was the context I was operating in? What was the context I was thinking about? And then I realized I was talking about context, so I can get back to the context in which I'm talking about, which is now, you know, my context is to deliver to you and share, hopefully, with clarity, the nature of a context in which it happens to apply to us as human beings now.
The High Little Guy Show.
After school one sunny day, Mama's mood gave the news away. All my tears fell down like pouring rain. She said you'd go